let's look at some classic stuff there. This next set, Legacy of Destruction, has got to be like just a dream come true for you,
Is
because
this the next set? Because it says it's not released till April.
no, it doesn't come out until April, but it's the next one to come out after what is it, Phantom Nightmare? The so
The,
it's
the one that no one cares about because it's
yeah, the
meh.
the the one that comes out after
The
Phantom
one I don't
Nightmare.
care about.
But here's the thing, though. It comes with support for two decks that I know are your favorites: Ancient Gear and Lightsworn.
It comes out with 3 because I also like Melodious,
Yeah,
and
Melodious is another.
I'm pretty sure the Skull Servant card's in this too.
The White Sworn. Fucking love
There,
that
there,
name.
there's so much in this set. Like this is going to be the next set that I actually spend money on because
Yes.
it has so much stuff in it, and I'm so excited for it.
And good stuff. I mean, like I actually put down here like exactly like what each of them does, and this is just like good shit. Like the dog, them gears be ancient. Let's see. The ancient gear Dark Golem adds 2 ancient gear cards or a geared town from deck to hand, which is good. Ancient gear Tanker allows you to special summon an ancient gear from your hand or graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions, and buffs your field by popping a card you control. So, you
Which,
know,
if you know anything about ancient gears, you're going to be popping your gear
I
town
was gonna
or one
say,
of your field spell or one of your like back row,
yeah.
because then you're going to get more shit summoned.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah, this is just really good synergy. I think the one that does the most is probably this next one, which is Ancient Gear Commander. Sends an Ancient Gear Golem from your hand, deck, or field to the graveyard to normal summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your hand. It lets you special summon an Ancient Gear Golem from your hand or graveyard if you summon an Ancient Gear Golem. So you summon one, it just gets you another one, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then it lets you banish itself from the graveyard. You banish Ancient Gear Commander from the graveyard to set an Ancient Gear continuous trap from your hand face up on the field.
So yeah, it lets you just automatically activate a trap.
Yeah,
Something about the artwork about this.
it's Crowler.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Mm,
do you get the reference of the artwork?
yeah,
Yeah, it's Crowler with his dual disc.
yeah, that's the dual disc. Yes. I know it took me a while because I was like, does he just have like an Ancient Gear erection? And then I was like, oh no, that's a dual disc. That's
And you ruined it.
Gamma says you got to use the old Ancient Gear Golem. Old Ancient Gear Golem, yeah, I mean, that's fine. He basically becomes like the center point upon which the deck hinges, I would say. Uh,
Well, does the new ancient gear? I know it counts as ancient gear golem in the grave and on the field. Is it always considered ancient gear golem?
no, great Graven on the field only.
Okay, so I think Ultimate Pound is also the same way. So you can have technically 9 copies of ancient gear golem now.
Yeah, like of course you kind of like want to make it so that you don't break your hand with nothing but Ancient Gear Golems, but yeah.
No, you want to have nothing but ancient gear golems in your hand. If you're not playing 9 ancient gear golems, then you're not doing it right.
Now, well, this next card might actually, these next cards might actually help you with that. In that case, Ancient Gear Advance is the continuous spell. It lets you search an Ancient Gear spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except for itself, and it also lets you,
Which makes you get ancient gear fusion,
yeah. It also lets you tribute 1 monster to draw a card, and then you are able to summon 1 level 5 or higher monster that are Ancient Gear Golem or mention it without tributing.
which lets you summon an ancient gear golem for 1 tribute.
Yeah, it lets you summon an Ancient Gear Golem. Well, without tributing, so like you did no tribute whatsoever. Well, I mean,
Well, you're tributing for cost of the spell card.
I see what you're saying. I totally forgot that was the cost there, but yes. So yes, you tribute Ancient Gear Golem for 1 tribute, and then the other card.
Yeah, I was going to say the thing that you should be excited about is ancient gear duel, because one, the artwork is like the iconic final moment between Crowler and Jaden from, I want to say, the season finale, that like the actual end of GX,
Yeah.
where he's got Flare Neos,
Flare Neos.
and yeah, it lets you fuse from the graveyard.
It does.
So after you just used your Ancient Gear Fusion to fuse from your deck and you have stuff in your graveyard, you can fuse from your graveyard now
Yeah.
by banishing the materials. So that one Chaos Ancient Gear Golem just turned into 2 Chaos Ancient Gear Golems. And I don't know if you know this, but 4,500 plus 4,500 that has piercing damage and can attack every card on your field deals a lot of damage, especially the fact that you can't really do anything because it says unaffected by everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's unaffected by everything. It's like it's pretty hard to get rid of.
It also makes the second part of Ancient Gear Duel feel a little superfluous because you fusion from using materials on your field and graveyard, right? But whatever you fuse with it can also attack up to 3 times that turn.
Yeah, so it's I think Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem is only like 1 attack, but like the other 2, yeah, Chaos Ancient Gear is unaffected by spell traps. Your opponent can't activate monster effects during battle phase, and it can attack all monsters your opponent controls, and it does piercing damage.
Right. So I mean,
so it's just like, oh, it can make up to 3 attacks on monsters. Cute. It can actually make 5 attacks on monsters, but
these are really really good support cards for Ancient Gear, dude. Like
they're good. I wouldn't say that it's gonna make them like meta relevant in any capacity.
No, but it certainly brings Ancient Gear to like a new power level, I would say.
It makes them where you could probably play them somewhat rogue,
Right.
and it would just be funny. I was really happy when I saw Ancient Gears, but before I saw the Ancient Gears, I saw the cards that we're talking about next, which I'm more
Lightsworn,
excited
baby.
about.
Yeah, same because
Because
dude,
holy shit,
bro,
the Lightsworn support is great.
bro, I have been putting off building Lightsworn since 2011 when Light of Destruction came out because back then I couldn't afford it, and ever since then it's kind of been like a thing. I was like, yeah, but they're not that strong right now. And this new support just brings them like way up, and I'm like, okay, my time has come.
You done fucked up because all the prices of everything went through the roof.
Oh, I have a bunch of stuff from like back in the day. I mean, I got like a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable enough knowing that like I should still be able to build this deck and it'll be whatever. It's just the new stuff that has me concerned. So yeah, Lightsworn stuff. For starters, we have 2 new main deck monsters. We have the Lightsworn Baby Dragon. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but if they don't call it Lightsworn Baby Dragon, I feel like it's a failed opportunity. And this one lets you special summon it from your hand if you have a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard. And then, if special summoned, it allows you to Foolish Burial a Lightsworn card except for itself. And then, if sent to the graveyard, it allows you to search for Judgment Dragon.
Yeah, I'm looking up because I know they gave it a name. Maybe they didn't.
It was like Dragon of the Lightsworn. It was like something whatever.
Yeah, Dragon of Lightsworn.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, this is Lightsworn Baby Dragon. Why wouldn't you call it that?
But yeah, if you have a Lightsworn in your graveyard, you special summon this card from your hand. That's a free special summon. You're going to have a Lightsworn in your graveyard all the time.
All the time.
If this special summon, you can send 1 Lightsworn from your deck to your graveyard. That sends a Wolf, a Felice, a Minerva. It's really good.
It's extremely good. This is good.
It just switches out your either Punishment Dragon or Judgment Dragon.
Yeah. So just excellent all around. This is a great starter card. This is fantastic. Next up, we have Weiss Lightsworn Archfiend, which a little bit of an Easter egg. This is Snow from Dark World as a Lightsworn now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vice is also it goes with the Dark World theme of naming conventions where they have like their color,
right.
because there's like brown, gold. Is it gold or geld?
It's gold.
They have
It's gold with
no,
two D's.
they have colors for their names. So
Yeah,
Weiss is German for white.
yeah. Weiss is also like I guess like lieutenant captain of Team Ruby, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Weiss is really fucking good
yeah.
because you can place one Lightsworn card from your hand on top of the deck, special summon this card, then send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard.
Oh, that's just beautiful setup, man.
When you draw 3 wolves and a Felice, and you just hate your life, Weiss is here to help you, because now one of those is going back on top and immediately getting milled to be special summoned.
Yeah, it's
It is a
excellent.
free rank 4.
It is a free rank 4.
Or if it's or if you have Felice, it's a free synchro level 8.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's fantastic, dude. I love the design on that card. I'm like, that is brilliant. Because like it sets up something to be special summoned.
Lightsworn needed, because this is the card that unbricks your hand.
It unbricks your hand something really hard. It's beautiful. And then if sent from the deck to the graveyard by any means, even like say by the effect of Lightsworn Baby Dragon, it allows you to special summon a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard except for itself. So, you know, like you're gonna
I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, you're gonna extend no matter what you do with this card. This is beautiful. And what is the payoff for all this? There is
the payoff is a shitty fusion dragon.
You think this fusion dragon is shitty? That effect is insane.
Because I have to use punishment dragon to make it.
Okay, agreed.
It's good. It's good, but I have to run punishment dragon in my deck now to make it.
Agreed. Okay, that is kind of a bad thing.
I'll just take out all of the chaos engine that I run.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once per turn you can quick effect, pay 2,000 to banish all cards on the field and in the graveyards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious. That's just like...
And once per turn during the end phase, send 4 cards. That's just your cost.
Yeah,
Lightsworns don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
If it's destroyed by your opponent, you can add 1 banishment and judgment dragon, or judgment and punishment dragon from your banish zone, and then special summon them, ignoring their summoning conditions. So blows up the field, dies by some means, and then gets you 2,000-3,000 attacks back on the field for free.
Yeah,
it's good. Punishment dragon's shit.
Yeah, punishment dragon's not all that, but like, dude, like for a payoff, I mean, people have run garnets for less. You know, like I feel like this is fine.
Yeah, I got upset when I saw the video that Robbie Cole made about it, and he was like, yeah, punishment dragons are they went from 50 cents to being like $8, and I was like, no, don't buy punishment dragon. It's bad.
I have exactly 1 punishment dragon, and it is the one garnet that I'm willing to run.
Let's see, it came out in the Firewall Dragon set. I don't remember if that was Cybernetic Horizons or what, but I opened a ton of that pack because I wanted Firewall Dragon. So I've got like 30 punishment dragons. Just I have to find them. I went through cards this morning and I found 2 punishment dragons. It's like, I'm not gonna run any more than 2. Like, and I may not even run 2. I'll probably run 1 because it gets it back.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, why would you, right? But that it's so funny because it's like, yeah, banish everything in the field and in the graveyard. I'm like, oh, that's hard. And then afterwards, it's all like, yeah, and if you succeed in destroying this thing, you just basically get 2 free dragons.
2 problems for yourself if you destroy this.
This is a really funny boss monster, and I love it. This is just excellent. And the other one that we get is Minerva, Lightsworn Athena. So it's the new synchro monster. It's got pretty decent
It's the new
stats.
Minerva.
It's the new Minerva. We get like 2,800 attack power. That's decent. That's whatever. It allows you to foolish burial Lightsworn monsters with different types equal to the amount of Lightsworn monsters used for its synchro summon. So if you use 2 Lightsworn monsters, you get to foolish burial 2.
Yeah.
Next up, Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effects. So if you have a full field and you manage to summon the Enlightenment Dragon to banish all cards on the field, your opponent's losing all cards on the field. You're fine.
Yeah.
And lastly, banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard, then mill that many cards. So,
Yeah. This Minerva is, I would say, probably on the same level as the old Minerva, in that it's really good. The fact that you can synchro summon, you're probably going to use like Raiden and some other level 4 to make it, and then you can just mill a Felice and a Wolf, and then get 2 free special summons of level 4s to do more shenanigans with, and then banishing 4 Lightsworns to send 4 cards from the top of your deck is, yeah, you want to do that.
it is
It's just the thing that you do
excellent.
with Lightsworn.
Yes, absolutely. I am 100% with it, dude. And this is just good. I'm looking at all of this and thinking to myself like, wow, like this is good support for both decks. Are Lightsworn arguably more? But
you didn't put the trap in. They have Lightsworn Aegis too.
I saw the trap too late. So could you tell us what the Lightsworn Aegis does?
It's target face-up cards your opponent controls equal up to the number. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control. Negate their effects until the end of the turn. So they got a Harpy's Featherstorm for Lightsworns.
That's fucking beautiful.
And if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard,
set it.
You can set it.
It's so fucking wonderful. I love it.
Not only did they get a Harpy's Featherstorm, they got a Harpy's Featherstorm that if they mill it, you know that they have a Harpy's Featherstorm because it's on their field.
This is incredible support for Lightsworn, dude. And I'm like, and it was funny, because I had this conversation with Mordor, because I remember talking about building Lightsworn, man, way back in the day, right? And then whenever the deck fell out of meta contention, it was just kind of like, oh, well, I'll just wait, like I'll get around to it. And Mordor's all like, hey, happy birthday, here, I bought you a Judgment Dragon. And it was like an ulti Judgment Dragon, which back then it wasn't worth a lot. So it was just kind of like,
I would kill for a playset of ulti Judgment Dragons.
I was like, hey, thank you, bro. And then like now I was talking to him. I was like, hey, man, Lightsworn is getting new support. I'm totally going to play it. He's like, hey, that Lightsworn, that Judgment Dragon I got you is finally going to see play. I'm like, I'm not putting that in the deck. That's an ulti. I'm like, that one's staying in a binder. He's like, why? Why is that? I was like, oh, because back when you bought it, it wasn't worth a lot. But now, oh, boy. It's just kind of like, wow. I'm like, I got myself a couple of peasant Judgment Dragons that I'm going to put in there.
The last card before we go on to the next thing, because it would be criminal if we didn't talk about the honorary Lightsworn, which is Whitesworn.
No, yeah, Whitesworn.
The new Skull Servant card, which is just great, because like all the rest of them, it counts as Skull Servant while in the graveyard, and then you can use each of the following effects once per turn. If you have Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servants in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then send cards from the top of your deck up to the number of Skull Servants and King of the Skull Servants in your graveyard. So you send this to the graveyard, and you mill like half your deck, because that's just how many Skull Servants you have.
Yeah. And
And
then
then you
Skull
can
Servant.
banish this card from your graveyard, target one Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servants in your graveyard, and special summon it.
So you just mill your entire deck, and then like King of the Skull Servants hits the field with like massive attack power.
He comes out of the graveyard looking for violence.
It's beautiful. I have Skull Servants built, and this is going to be an excellent addition to it, and I'm excited for it.
Well, it's I think with this you have the possibility of having like 18 or 21 Skull Servants now.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, you can have a 20,000 attack King of Skull Servants on the field.
Which would be fucking hilarious.
Just give it like piercing. You have to play Fairy Meteor Crush in 2024, so it has piercing battle damage.
Oh Lord, that would be great. But that is just so much support for so many decks that I'm just so happy to see like getting support, and I'm excited for it, dude. But I guess we can move on to the last part of the card games today. And this is something that I asked about in the Discord server, because what we're getting here is a staple, a long-time staple, Reinforcement of the Army, being released as a promo with a different artwork featuring modern monsters. Reinforcement of the Army for the longest time has had Marauding Captain and his army with him. But this one has Sky Striker Ace Rose and Sky Striker Ace Hayate on it. So
yeah, I saw this, and I would love to see Konami do this with a bunch of like old cards.
I agree,
because like you said, having your typical Rhoda artwork is one thing.
mm-hmm.
Having an alt art where it's different cards from a different archetype on it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there was a couple that I made mention of whenever I asked about this that I think would just work. Like for example, I think that Summon Limit, the continuous trap card that says that no player can summon more than twice with El Shadal Winda, would be fun. I'm like the effect is kind of the same, so like having it with El Shadal Winda is kind of an interesting thing. I think that terraforming with Kashtira, because Kashtira are basically like space invaders, and they drain like the resources out of your planet. I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
Brain control or mind control with like Ib and Lee from like World Chalice, World Legacy lore. You know, because like Lee takes control of Ib, transforms her into an evil entity. You know, I think that would be cool too. And Change of Heart with Dogmatica Fleur de Lis and the Iris Sword Soul, because lore wise they basically switch allegiances. I think that would be cool too.
yeah. There's quite a few cards that you could make the argument that having a like alternate art like that would be pretty cool. I'm hoping that they do more stuff like it,
I
because
agree.
like the Rhoda is just like a starting thing that they can do, and hopefully it gets better. I'm trying to find how much Ultimate Judgment Dragons are, and I can't find them. I can find secret rares, which are $70.
Yeah.
I want ultis though.
I got the peasants and I got one ulti, which is exciting.